In the deep recesses of one's mind, there is a voice, a guiding light through the darkness, a connection to the other side.
You're ready to wake up, you're going to wake up. And if you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just a little, poor little me.
Pathway to spiritual that echoes with enlightenment. The voice of spirit.
The voice of spirit. You are a function of this total galaxy, bounded by the Milky Way, and that furthermore, this galaxy is the function of all other galaxies.
Your journey starts here and now. With your host and connection to spirit, Leo Bonomo.
Hi, very, very warm welcome. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you happen to be in the world. It's lovely for you, for us, rather, for you to join us. And it is a very sad time worldwide, of course. You know, we've got the coronavirus and all the problems that's causing for us, whether that's financial or health-wise or inconvenience, you know, in being trapped in our own homes for quite a bit of the day or night. Today we're going to be talking to Toni Love and Patrick Love, and Toni, I've messed up my notes. Patrick is an intuitive empath, certified wellness practitioner, transpersonal hypnosis. He does NLP, past lives, mystic tarot, pendulum, CLC, modern day mystic, working with many modalities. He's also a musician, and he's also an intuitive empathic certified wellness practitioner using transpersonal hypnosis. I think I'm reading some of this again, I'm not sure. And Toni is a global healer, known globally for a unique multi-dimensional remote energy healing, and that ranges from emotional to physical. She's also an intuitive and does readings and channeled messages from angels, and she also does a kind of regression and helps you to find out some of your past lives. So welcome to you both.
Hey, thank you, Leo. Can you hear me?
Hello. I think I messed some of that up. Where I pasted it in, I've lost a couple of tiles. So I hope I've got that right. Toni, you were around 5 years old when all this started, and having angelic encounters and galactic beings, which is something that I really believe in as well. I knew from very young that I'd come from somewhere, and I had a connection, still have a connection with Orion and that belt and the beings that come from there. So it's very interesting that you have those kind of connections as well. I know that you were able to heal your mum when she was sick, and animals and other unique abilities. So did all that kind of start from the age of 5, or did it sort of come in bits and pieces?
I believe it came in bits and pieces, but at that time I thought it was completely normal, so I didn't really say anything to anybody because I thought everybody's seen the same thing that I seen, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, it started pretty much at 5, and then I got more and more when I was 7.
Yeah.
Being visited by angelic beings and galactic beings, I would say now, because at that time I didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
And then I would see like different. Well, now I know what they are. I believe. I think that they are from the hollow world. I used to see these beings that were white hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, and they used to have different symbols on their outfits, kind of.
Yeah.
So I seen all kinds of things at that age, and of course they didn't really know what to do with me after I did expose it, because they thought I was, you know, maybe schizophrenic or something.
That's always the problem we have. I think, like a lot of natural mediums, it kind of sparks very young and stays with you. And a lot of people there's that knowledge there, that experience there, and because of the path lives they've chosen, it kind of fades out, 5, 6, 7, and they just don't get it back. But I know that mediums with natural abilities tend to see it from very young, and you're quite right. I first started seeing spirit at 2, and I had seen UFOs when I was around 8. But you do take it as natural because it's a nice warm experience generally, isn't it?
Oh, it is, most definitely. It was full of love, and I would see bright lights, and I would see colors over people, and all these, different beings, from different areas. But, the thing is, though, is as at first I was seeing both sides. So I was seeing like the shadow sides that were kind of like, scary, and I would be afraid of the dark kind of thing. And
Yep.
And then I would see the light beings too. But later on, eventually those dark spirits left because they were just trying to abuse my giftings, I believe.
Absolutely, and I think it's wonderful to be aware of the dark side because it's yin and yang. There's always a balance.
Yes.
But I know some institutions, the SNU, National Union of Spiritualists, they don't believe in anything dark, and I actually think that's quite dangerous because at least if you know of it, you can prepare against it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We have a number of tools we defer people to for repelling negative things. It's not something you need to focus on, but like you said, you just need to be aware of it. And to say that there's no such thing is
for my thought of that is like maybe perhaps they came to this life not needing to acknowledge that. Maybe they already went through that with their previous life. You know what I'm saying? So there's that thought too that could be, but are they automatically to know or something? I don't know. But
personally, I believe skeptics. I never try and convert anyone, and
right.
I personally believe skeptics. They're born to have a life in a certain way, cut off from this love, and and that's who am I to try and change that? If they change themselves, fine, but they have to live this particular life in that way. Tell us a little bit about your near-death experiences, because you've had a couple of those, haven't you, Toni?
Yes, I did. The first one I believe was I believe I was around 11 or 12 years old. And we were in the mountains and we were gathering wood for the fire for camping. And I was in the back of a Toyota pickup truck with friends, and we were going up the mountain cliff. And well, the back of the wood carrier, I don't know what it's called, but it fell over the mountainside. And I got up not thinking, and I'm like, oh my God, I got up in the back of the truck, and then I fell over because they had a stick shift and it jerked the whole truck. And then I went over the cliff and hit a rock with my head, and I was in a coma. So that was pretty intense moment of seeing things.
Yeah.
At first, it was kind of like I was in a kind of like a dark holding place.
Yeah.
But then I seen like a beautiful crystal tunnel, all white with different rainbows and colors, and going up to this tunnel with the different angelic beings, and seeing like this other. It was like a city, it was all beautiful. Everything was brilliant in colors.
Yeah.
The colors were not of this earth, of course, and the air was so pure. It was like pure oxygen. It was something that it's just hard to explain. Yeah. But everything on the other side, it was like everything had a beautiful harmonic song, but everything harmonized together, but it was all different.
Yeah, I know from my own connections to spirit, and also what spirit say, to lots of different people, that there is a particular vibration. That vibration has a color. It also has a connecting note, and so Hendrix spoke about it quite a lot. Through Electric Ladyland, where he talks about the sky lighting up, and they have wonderful concerts there, and the music plays, but the sky does light up, because you've got the corresponding colours to the notes. It's a fascinating thing.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. And then I've seen the different, like they have lots of crystals and crystal walls and castle looking. And I've seen different beings at that time, and I didn't know. Again, I wasn't like into religion or anything, so I wasn't, I didn't know until later on in my life what they were. And I seen God as a beautiful energy source. Had a very, very stern voice, and each time he spoke, the vibrations would accelerate, and then I would see different colors with that too, with God. And then of course I seen Christ beside God as separate, and then I would see these other masters and teachers. Another thing too is I wanted to say, that I've seen different angelic beings with different rankings, with different dimensions, and some of these angels people would probably freak out because they don't look so angelic like these beautiful, angelic. There's some with the small angelic wings, and they had higher dimensions. What was it? Higher arc. They were half, like half human, half animal kind of thing, like ox heads, or But yeah, so there was different kinds of angels all over, and they're not anything like I've ever seen. So
yeah, well, if you take that imagery and go back to sort of the Roman gods, I mean, the Romans adopted, as they conquered a country, one of the ways to keep it unified was they took that country's religion and praised their gods as well. So the Romans were extremely diverse like that. But if you go back to the Romans and the Greeks, you've got I can't remember his name. There's a god that's half horse, half man, isn't there? And you've got the bull. And so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's Horus. I think that's
Egypt. I'm thinking of Egypt.
Yeah, that's
they
an
had
Egyptian.
the dog. They had the god with the kind of the canine head.
Oh, I see that over some people, their avatars. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, and that's something we've got to talk about at some point during the show as well. Sorry, carry on.
So there's different layers of the other side, and there's different dimensions, and it's just amazing what I got to see. And then God himself, or he, I can't even say it's he or she, it's just God to me, because it has a feminine and then also the masculine. Like I would say Shekinah, the Shekinah present, the Shekinah mother side of God. That's what I always refer to when I do my healings too. But what was my point?
Well, I think you were describing some of them, and you were also saying that some aren't like you would imagine. So some are. I know with doorkeepers or gatekeepers that work with mediums. Quite often, the gatekeeper. It's a bit like a bodyguard, as you know, but quite often they are quite horrific looking, but they're there to guard us. There's a very good friend of mine, Sarah, that came on. She's a brilliant trance medium, and she was telling me at some point over the last few years that she caught a glimpse of her gatekeeper, and she was absolutely shocked. And what he said to her was, if you've got to do that, if you're in that kind of business, then you need to put off any elements that might just want to toy. So they don't toy with him at all. It's like a angel, it's like a 7-foot mafia guy, watching your door, and you go, well, if you want to mess, start with him, you know.
Yeah. What I was saying was, okay, so then God showed me like what I was supposed to come back to do, as in bringing high vibration music. I was trying to always mimic the sounds that I heard in the heavenly realms, I'm going to call it. And so I was to do that and also do the healing. So I came back with more abilities and more sensitivities to do what I was sent back to do. And so music was one, and then also the healing, and then also tuning one's body's DNA song. So when I see a DNA song out of somebody's body, it's like a string, you know, out of tune, then I find the root cause of that. And so, but it's not me doing it at all. I just kind of step aside, and spirit and the queen angel and the angels work through me for the healing abilities that I'm to bring from the heavenly realms. Now I'm able to still go to that place. Like when I had my near-death experience, I still can go to that place and see the beings and God and Christ and all the masters. So.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing, because I don't know if you're aware, but in my first book, Summerland, which was written completely by spirit, and I was unconscious at the time. They were just moving the pen, and it took about 3 years in actuality to write, but the overall time of that happening was about 3 months.
Wow.
And I knew as soon as I heard it that Jimi Hendrix was a medium, and there's a bit about him in that book. And towards the end of his life, he was working with color and sound healing.
Oh, you know? Interesting! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so he was very, very. He used to astral project from a very young age, partly because he, there's a lot of problems around him at that time. But he's half Cherokee, and his grandmother was Cherokee, and other Indians, native Indians, called them the Sky People because they were so connected to spirit in a different way. And aliens, as you've mentioned, so they were called the Sky People, which was one of the reasons he called one of his groups the Sky Church Band. Oh. If you're wondering where that came from, that's the connection there.
That's awesome. I have to research and get your book too now.
I grew up playing Jimi Hendrix, and we lived like about a mile away from his memorial.
Actually, they have a bunch of pictures, right, that we just took.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, you couldn't do me a favour, could you? I know I'm a creep. You couldn't send a couple of those.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be fantastic. I had a great experience. One of the guys that I was teaching in my circle, he said to me, "Do you like Jimi Hendrix?" I said, "Yeah." So he said, "Would you like to see the ambulance that he died in?" Because he died in the ambulance, not at hospital. Basically, he was meant to go. He gave a prediction 5 years before, and then later on as well, that he wasn't going to see 30. He knew exactly when he was going to go. And so he passed in the ambulance because they, although he'd been sick, they sat him in a chair with his head back, which is not what you need, of course, because now they put you in a special position, don't they, if you're being sick. So I went along, and amazingly, this ambulance was at this, it wasn't a hospital, but it was a place where they had ambulances of different types and lots of machinery. I don't know whether they were installing it to hospitals, but I went to this place, and luckily the ambulance was open. So I've got some good pictures, so I'll send you some of those. But I was just blown away, and of course he wasn't there, he wasn't connected to it. I don't think I'd want to either. But
there is something to that. Like on our spiritual journey, we would go to places where there were and are portals, right? And residual places of great healing, where there was real strong downloads of the love of God, right?
Yeah.
And there's residual, and you can actually pick up an attunement from those, or perhaps through someone, in the charismatic circles in Christianity, they impartation they talk about, which is just another way of saying attunement, right?
Yeah.
And those are real, it's like a lot of gifts, those kind of things come through for people that are not born with it. They're still there, and you can get them, through doing inner work and healing and seeking those things out, or sometimes they'll come just automatically through an impartation or attunement because you benefit from the life experience of the person you receive from, right?
Yeah.
So their ceiling becomes your floor, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so it's kind of great to have those experiences, and I think it's. I mean, for me to just be in the ambulance was amazing. And there's a little plaque in there, that says Jimi Hendrix died here in 1917, his birthday and everything. Yeah, very interesting. Before we go into the break, Toni, you were talking about that darkness before you started to see the angelic beings. Do you think that was part of the coma? Had you any sense of that darkness just being there for a period and then coming through it, or was it something that just seemed to flow for you?
I just felt like it was kind of like a holding place. Yeah, and then from there I just went straight up after that. So it was kind of actually scary feeling to me. So.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I had a problem one time of waking up from anaesthetic, and I could hear the anaesthetist getting quite worried, and he was slapping my face gently, calling me, slapping my face harder, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
And I could hear him and I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything, and then I slowly started to come round. I mean, the relief for him was palpable, and I'm thinking, that was a bit close.
Yeah. For being on the other side too, I didn't finish what I was to say, but maybe we could get back to that after you go into the break. Yeah. But yeah, I understand that it was a scary part for me for that, feeling that tunnel place, and maybe perhaps Spirit wanted me to look and see where I could have went, or where, or know that there's this other side.
Absolutely, and as you said before, lots of people just have that, and it kickstarts all the gifts. We're going to go into a break, and we shall be right back after this. If you want to talk to Toni or Patrick, then do call us on the number.
This is the voice of Spirit, your connection to the other side.
To understand something spiritually, you must experience it. And in order to experience it, you have to experience it in your imagination.
Explore with us by calling 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us the call now.
Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio.
Everything that now exists was once imagined. Therefore, everything that is going to exist must first be imagined.
Back with your guide, the Spirit, Leo Bonomo. Leo Bonomo. After these brief words from our sponsors.
Hello, KCOR listeners. Lori and Fenton here from the Fenton Files to tell you how to watch UFOCon 2020, which was held right before the virus scare and shelter in place. It was a conference like no other, so don't miss out on the specially priced on-demand replay of what is already the most talked about conference of 2020. Visit UFOCon2020.com. That's UFOCon2020.com.
You love them enough to do anything for them.
Mom, I need to be wiped. Coming.
Including checking nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Monday nights are about to become hauntingly good, as Reverend Sean Whittington possesses the airwaves with Vegas Supernatural. Tune in every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for Vegas Supernatural, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. There's a war raging between good and evil. The question is, which side are you fighting on? Tune in Monday nights as Reverend Sean Whittington sets the new standard for paranormal radio with some of the most influential personalities in the world today. Vegas Supernatural, hosted by Reverend Sean Whittington, every Monday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. The one show even the devil doesn't want you to hear.
Paranormal radio never sounded so good. Love, Light, and the Paranormal, hosted by Reverend J. Live every Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
No mercy, no pity, no fear.
Come explore the world of the paranormal with distinguished and sometimes not so renowned authors, investigators, as well as TV and radio personalities from around the world. Whether it's love and light or the darkness of the abyss. We go down the road others are afraid to travel. The only question is, are you ready for it? Love, Light, and the Paranormal, hosted by Reverend J. Live Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Your paranormal voyage starts here.
Great.
It's great. I think it's great. I think it's
The all-new KCOR Digital Radio Network.
great. Make a note of it. It's great.
Welcome back to the Voice of Spirit, your connection to the other side.
There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it.
Connect with us on Twitter by using hashtag KCOR. Even better, join us live in our chat room at KCORradio.com. To get a free reading during the show, call 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us the call now.
Worldwide callers, use Skype name KCOR Radio. And now, inspirational clairvoyant medium, psychic, and your connection to the spirit, the host of the Voice of Spirit, Leo Bonomo.
Welcome back. If you've not tuned in before and you want to read about direct voice mediumship, I have a new book coming out. It has been postponed a little bit because of coronavirus, of course. But if you've not heard of a gentleman called Leslie Flynn, direct voice medium, who I was privileged to have sat with, and he's now in spirit since 1994. It's a book, it's of transcriptions, but you also get the recordings with it. So you can physically hear the dead, well, I don't consider them dead, but you can physically hear those spirits talk in their spirit voices. So if that's something that interests you, then brilliant. We've got Toni Love and Patrick Love on the shows. If you've been listening, you would know. And then we've got a message from Anna, and she says, do you think my spiritual blockage could be healed by your lovely female guest? So that's directly for you, Toni.
Oh, absolutely. I do. That's one of my main giftings that I help people is to find the reason and the cause. And I do a frequency vibration session. And I go in and I unblock like either your third eye. I work with your neurons and the calcium, see if you have any calcium on your third eye. Also, I work on the solar plex area, the spiritual side. So I find all the stagnant energies and I remove the stagnant energies, and then I retune you, reformatting, and then we open up your spiritual giftings.
Well, brilliant. So, I'm not sure if you've worked like this before. Would you like to try and maybe link in with Anna, or maybe just give her a contact so that she can contact you off the show or after the show? Which way would you prefer to work?
Absolutely. I have, well, I'm on Facebook for one, and that's Facebook at Toni the Global Healer. Another thing too is that I have a phone number here in the USA, and that is 623-401-7373. And you could, oh, it's 42. Oh, one more time. I'm sorry.
It's like me. I don't dial my own numbers.
No, my husband was saying I needed to repeat it. 623-401-7373. And again, that's Arizona Mountain Standard Time. And I will be available to do consultation, and then we will set up a session. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So hopefully, Anna, that would help you. It would obviously be a bit more in depth as well than we can go here. And I know that there are some things that, you know, readings and connecting and that kind of thing we can do in a short space of time. But I do know that blockages can take time to not only take effect, but some. I was given a healing, and this was a whole day thing. So Anna, it's not something that sometimes can be done in 3 or 4 minutes, but hopefully that helps you. Do let us know. Do you have any messages that you could give Anna at all?
Let's see.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Does she want a reading?
Yeah, let's try and do a quick reading for her. She's actually in the chat room, so she's not on the phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so the first thing I got for her was I'm sensing with Anna right now is that there is some emotional blockages in her heart portal area. So I'm feeling like to clear some of those out too, because to be able to clear that vibration, because I'm doing a scan right now kind of over her without speaking to her or connecting, but I'm connecting through your vibration. So so I've definitely seen that heart like being too hard on herself, self-love and self-forgiveness. Another thing too is even forgiving something from her past. But I feel like that she may be a bit hard on herself about her giftings, and perhaps she has her giftings now, but she's not acknowledging the giftings as natural abilities that she may have, that she's thinking of one way of a gift, but it's another way, if that makes sense. But definitely getting like a generosity and like some kind of mistrusting or some trauma. But I definitely got that. But at the same time, I'm feeling with her is that I'm seeing a lot of compassion and lots of giving. And she's also gifted. She does have lots of gifts. It's just awakening those gifts for her and understanding, I guess I would say. But yeah, that's what I was getting for.
If I can interject a little bit, you know, sometimes it doesn't come through like we're thinking it's going to come through. It's learning how to communicate with your higher self and with the guides and those things that are happening in your life. And so it comes through a weird filter, and you need to learn, you know, how to receive, you know, right? To get comfortable in that space and understand that you might just get a word or a picture, and as soon as you act on those kind of things, more will come through. And it's just the way it works. You move, you know, spirit moves to you, you move the spirit, and it's this beautiful dance that you learn to do. Yeah, and then another thing too is perhaps the situation has challenged you to be more loving to yourself or others. So yeah, there's just
Yeah, that's what I was connecting with that, and then also opening up her solar plex more so that she's able to connect more clearly. Because I also am feeling too is that she's in a bit of change, like her portals are moving, repositioning, okay, like a different portal is opening, she's extending higher. So she may be feeling like she's in a nothing place and that she can't connect, but she's moving into another dimension.
Okay, that's great. Anna, as I'm linking with you, I have a gentleman. He would have had very dark hair, has receded more or less halfway across his head. As everyone knows, I'm notoriously bad with ages. This gentleman has said that he was almost 60, so he would have been definitely between 55 and 60 when he passed over. There is silver grey in the hair. As he's showing me on the right side of his head, the head has been misshapen in some way. He says this was an accident. I can't find out from him whether this was a car accident or a fall, although it actually, as I've said, fall, he's repeated the word. So I know that this was a fall. He's around 5'7", and he's linking me to mum's side of the family. So there's a gentleman there. He may be a grandfather on mum's side of the family, but he's definitely there. Would you understand him saying that there has been trauma that you've gone through? He's talking about emotional trauma, but he's saying that there were a series of traumatic events which have built up for you, and he says it has disturbed you deeply, but the main thing is that you recognize that something is wrong. So let us know, give us some feedback on what Toni said and what Patrick said.
Patrick has a reading for her also. Sorry.
Oh, I do apologize. Yeah, and what Patrick's going to give you.
No, it's all good. I just, I pulled a card for her just to kind of see, and it just confirms everything you guys are just saying. It's if I can read.
Oh, it's a high priestess card.
It's number 11, high priestess, psychic, influential, secretive, knowing, and an oracle. It just goes along with everything you guys are just talking about. And, as far as that trauma goes, and you just breathe love and light. Just forgive every person, place, or thing involved with that, and ask God in whatever expression that you're leaning into, as far as God being love, to give you that feeling of release, that feeling of forgiveness, because that'll happen. A lot of times, really that's the key. It's just to forgive and to ask God to give you that love for the people, release them of those places. A place can harm you and traumatize you, person, place, or thing. Yeah. So just lean into forgiveness, accept the forgiveness, and give the forgiveness, and make some type of pronunciation that, say, they owe me nothing. I don't want nothing. I bless them, and I let this go. All right? I hope that helps you, Anna.
Yes, let us know, Anna, and affirmations are great things. We've got another lady in the chat room, Eva, and she says, can you tell me a little bit about what next year will bring for me, both in my spiritual life and my daily life? So whoever wants to start with that.
Well, let's lean into it a little bit.
Yeah.
The fact that you're even asking, about your spiritual life and your daily life, there must be a hunger there for change. And to understand, just to start there in the natural, as Toni's doing what she's doing, is making perhaps a list of those things that you need to change to draw yourself closer. Maybe it's learning to love yourself more and accept yourself, those kind of things. Learning, finding your way through any type of inner healing stuff that's going to help your connection, or maybe it's learning to hear, your spiritual guides. Maybe it's listening to higher vibrational music. You're asking the question, but when you ask that question, you're really saying, I want more, and how do I get it? Right? So, God draws near the humble, I believe, and he resists the proud. So the more you lean in and accept yourself for the beautiful queen that you are, and the more you allow yourself to be a conduit of healing for others, and that in itself, your spiritual life will just blow up in a very good way. And your daily life, the things that you will attract, there'll be so much joy and so much peace and just excitement, because if you're willing to be that conduit, then that's going to happen, right, Leo?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to add to that, Toni?
I just feel like she's going through a bit of change this year, repositioning, just getting resting and reconsidering things, replanning. I really feel like she's giving birth to a new thing. I got a number 9 for her. So she's in the process of birthing into new things, transitioning. I also am getting to number 1 for her. 1 is a new beginnings. After this, as in like an adventure, like bringing in that inner child, bringing out that inner child again, that innocence, and discovering the new things that is opening up for her. Also, just rebalancing. I feel like she's totally rebalancing right now. But I feel like there's an awesome, giving and receiving also, and that I feel like she's the outcome here. I also feel all this change. I'm getting a number 4. So 4 weeks, 4 months, there's a huge transformation. And I see like a butterfly in front of me. So she's going to be flying in a new position, a new thing for her upcoming. That's what I was kind of getting right now for her.
Brilliant. I would agree. I'm getting slightly different messages. So the bits I know that match up with you, I would agree with what you've said. But Eva, there are going to be more challenges for you this year. Things will certainly move along. I know that your training will move along, and I know that the healing will continue for you. As you move towards the end of this year, there are going to be a lot of positive changes for you. And as we go into next year, I'm also being told that next year, it's almost like an explosion. There's lots of light there. I know there's a lot of new connections for you, and those will help. Yeah, those will help to drive you forward. So that will be fantastic. I know that we will meet at some point, and I know that we'll meet with Susan as well, who's next in the chat room. So I know that we can push those things forward. Fantastic. Again, Eva, give us any feedback. Let us know how we did. We've got a message from Susan, and these are kind of regular callers. And she says, is there a message for her as well? And happy Easter to everyone.
Happy Easter to you. Well, Easter is about the whole resurrection, coming from the Christian side, even the worldly side, that talking about, that goes back about the eggs for oh, there's a word I'm not gonna be able to say. Fertility. Yeah. And it's exciting at a time of new beginnings, I really feel that for Susan. Yeah. And the fact that I feel there's an excitement. I just get that out of that just little brief paragraph that she put in there. So.
Oh, fantastic. And Eva said that you're spot on, Toni, and she sends lots of love.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. It's always nice to get the feedback. Yeah.
Yes, blessings, yes. So this one was for...
Suzanne.
Oh, okay, Suzanne. Is there a message for me also? Okay. You got one?
No.
I'm not ready yet. I'm waiting for spirit.
Okay, yeah, okay. Okay. One of the problems is that I know Suzanne fairly well, so that makes it extra difficult for me. I've got a lovely gentleman that's stepping forward. He's very tall. He must be 6 foot. Slim. He's blonde hair. I do think that this, and I hate to give guides because we can't prove them, but I know that this is a new guide that's coming in to help you with the circle. Things are going to be okay. There is going to be work for you, a different type of work. I know it's going to bring other people into contact with you that certainly will be helpful with the spiritual work that you're going to do. As we know, sometimes we get shifted or bounced out of the path that we're on, and it has been necessary for that to happen for you. And there is a place that you need, some land and buildings, and I know that is going to happen for you. We are looking at a second. We're looking at a temporary place between now and between now and August, and as we're looking at that, there will be another place to move forward. There is a connection and a companionship that will bring money to you. You will be working in partnership with someone, and I know that that's going to be very fruitful, and that's going to help you do what you need to do. Hopefully that makes sense to you as well.
Okay, so well, I was sitting here, and her name is Suzanne. Suzanne?
Yes.
So I definitely am getting oneness right now, as in like balancing and having patience in the divine masculine, bringing in that divine masculine. So I just really feel like the whole meditation is just going to get a lot more answers right now. Just having patience in the synchronicity of all things to take place. Another thing too is I got illumination. Illumination 5. So 5 to me is also change. So she's in quite a bit of change. Staying positive, having that joy and that inspiration right now in this season of change. Also, the last one is I was getting a lot of success and a lot of growth coming up here in the near future. And the angel message for you today is allowing what troubles you to receive healing light from me today. So in doing so, you'll be strengthened with inner reserve. So that's a strength card. And then also, you got this. You got this, girl. They delight to see you succeed, and everything is being lined up for your upcoming success and growth.
Brilliant. Anything, Patrick?
Yeah, I got the number 9 for her. The fact is, this goes along with everything you guys are talking about. Obviously, there's birthing happening, something new, some new life, excitement. I think it's going to have to do with not working as hard to get what you used to have to work so hard for. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
The resistance will be less. Yeah, like you're coming into the zone. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely changing into a higher perspective, a higher new things. It's going to come together all in timing and synchronicity. That's awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic. And again, Suzanne, let us know. I'm sure that will resonate with you. As we're going into the break, we've got a few minutes left as well. What was it? Do you know what? I had a question in my mind and Spirit taking it away straight away. That's so it's my guide having a bit of a laugh. What I was going to say, Patrick, you work with Kat, don't you, on her site?
Yes. Me and Toni both do that. we offer, I offer some NLP sessions, transpersonal hypnotherapy, life coaching, those kind of things, even physical healing. One of the things about healers is not every healer is for every person, right? So it's kind of finding out if you jive with someone and that kind of stuff. So a platform like that is very useful for doing, like, getting a mini reading with someone or a healing treatment, kind of see how things are working,
Yeah, and if anyone wants to go to Kat's site, it's what do you know what the URL is for her site? I can't think at the moment.
Yeah, it's Online Psychics.
That was it. Yeah.
OnlinePsychics.live.
Fantastic. And if anyone wants to go there, then please do. Kat has also offered a free reading, a 3 hours reading. I think she said it was $380 Australian dollars. I'm not sure what that is in pounds or whatever. But if you want to, we're going to have a little competition, not this week, but next week. So if you're interested in that, you can win a free reading with Kat at that address. So we're just going to go into a break, and we shall be right back after this. And then we've got a question from Karen. Susan said again, all spot on. So brilliant. We're just going to go into a break.
You've been listening to Leo Bonomo, the host of The Voice of Spirit. Live every Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. For more information on the show, guests, and hosts of The Voice of Spirit, or to book a private reading, please visit leo-bonomo.com. That's leo-bonomo.com. Your connection to the other side is just a phone call away. The Voice of Spirit.
It is amazing, is it not?
This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network, broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Now for the news.
In the deep recesses of one's mind, there is a voice, a guiding light through the darkness, a connection to the other side.
You're ready to wake up, you're going to wake up. And if you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just poor little me.
Pathway to spiritual that echoes with enlightenment. The Voice of Spirit.
The Voice of Spirit. You are a function of this total galaxy, bounded by the Milky Way, and that furthermore, this galaxy is the function of all other galaxies.
Your journey starts here and now. With your host and connection to Spirit, Leo Bonomo.
Hi, warm welcome back, and we're talking to Toni Love and her partner Patrick Love, and we're covering a lot of different messages, but also a lot of different things like bioscanning, which Tony's going to be talking about in a moment. We've got a message in the chat room from Karen Stewart, and she thanks us for hearing interesting messages, and she says, is there anything for me? I feel like I'm at an end, find very little inspiring around me, which is a shame, but sometimes, Karen, there needs to be a pause so we can spiritually take a breath and look around. But which of you would like to answer, Karen?
Well, let me tell you something, Karen. You are loved with an everlasting love, and nothing can separate you from the love of God. Being the love from, God's pain can either separate you or it can motivate you. And right now, it sounds like you're in some separation, and you feel like, just everything's dull. I totally get that. I've been there. Dark night of the soul. Some people call it the dark night of the soul. And like Leo said, a pause. Let there be a pause, and look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I don't understand, but I love you. Love yourself. Give yourself a pause, and know that something's just about you just give it time. Time's that pearl of great price. Maybe you need to take some time and just meditate and put some beautiful music on. Saturate yourself with beauty, whatever kind of music that you like Leo was talking about, some of the Hendrix's music and stuff and such. Listen, it doesn't have to be cathedral choirs, though that's a beautiful thing. It could be country music, it could be rock, whatever it is. Get into that place, someplace that that will stimulate those feelings, that'll come against the dullness, and maybe it's drinking one of your favorite beverages, right? Like a beautiful cup of tea with some honey and a little piece of toast. You know what I'm saying? Change the vibration that's resonating in your being, because that's what you're experiencing is a low vibration resonation within your very heart and soul, and you can change that. You can change that. You just need to be open to it, and you need to exercise the tools to do so. And so there you go. I hope that helps you, hon, because I love you.
So with Karen, usually I have a lot of clients that come to me with these same questions or same issues. And so I like to do a biofilled holographic 5D energy healing on you, because to me, it's like you are stuck and there's some stagnant energies and there's something that needs to be healed within you and released. Or let's say there might be like some generational cords going on, or ancestral cords, or some karmic cords. There's a reason for how you are feeling with all this that's going on. And so when I do a whole complete scan of your biofields, Karen, I definitely I'm able to go within inside you of your matrix, your map, and do a holographic healing and clearing of that. And then so many of my clients, after having those sessions, have completely moved on in a different light, a different focus, and they feel such a heaviness that's been released from them. So I feel like you've been going up and down to a lot of heart things going on, a lot of emotional, a lot of relationship things going on with your sacred portal. And finding yourself again too, it's like you need to definitely find yourself, because I'm seeing like you don't know who you are. It's almost like you serve so many different people, or you've helped so many different people that you forgot about yourself, and just trying to figure out where you belong in this life, this path. But I do definitely want to tell you that you are here for a reason. You have a destiny, and you have services to offer, and you have purposes to offer. And you're just going through a little bit of some transformation right now. But I feel I really am getting like that to moving forward is on its way.
And to add to that, I feel like all of us are guilty of this, seeking our identity from other people. So I feel like you should seek your identity from who you think you are, and stop receiving these opinions and judgments. Don't just let them roll off your back, like what do they say, like water off a duck's back, right? Mm-hmm. Just find your own interpretation of who you are. Stop relying upon other people to tell you who you are. Okay?
Yeah, because I'm also like picking up quite a bit of anxiety too with her. So there's a lot of worry and anxiety. There's something going on within her circle, and that circle of change too. Sometimes spirit makes it very uncomfortable for us if we're in a place that we're not supposed to be, for working on our shadow side. We need to work on our shadow side, heal that shadow side so that we can move forward also. Okay?
Brilliant. Karen, as I'm linking in with you, I'm seeing someone from the shoulders up, so I know this person is alive. I'm seeing you with, I would say it's dark blonde hair. It's maybe hay colour or a dark hay colour. It is just below shoulder length. I wouldn't say it's straight at all because there are waves within the hair. And I see a very, very even face with that. If that isn't you, this is definitely somebody that you know that's alive. Because I've got that way, whoever's giving this information is standing back, so there's nothing sinister in that at all. But they've taken me, I think this is a gentleman from the sound of the voice, I'm not entirely sure, but they're taking me back to October of last year. And as they wrote October for me, they've scribbled all the way through it. So I know, in a sense, October was written off. Christmas wasn't that great either. So whilst things have become more difficult with Corona, of course, and all the fallout from that, last year was not a good year for you. We are going to need to wait. This has come through many times in readings. Spirit have talked about at least August before things get better. We may actually go into September with it for the Corona thing, but there are changes for you. Would you understand needing to have changed direction? As I'm saying that, I know as we were going up to October, I've got a right angle, so there's been a sharp shift away from moving forward. This person's actually written the word work as well, so I know that before the coronavirus thing, things have got fairly serious for you. There has been a need for you to change direction. So whilst there is that heavy negative atmosphere around you, it is there to stop you going forward in the direction that you have been going. So there's a need for a huge change for you. They've just written the number 35. I don't think it's a door. I'm not sure whether that's your age, although I've just got a no for that, as I've said that that's not your age. But there's a 35 that is very important to you. Whoever's just give me this has just written birth, so I don't know if you were born at a number 35 or there was a 35 in the number, but that should make some sense to you. Things are going to change in a positive way, but it has been necessary almost to stop you in your tracks from around October. So hopefully that makes sense. Let us know how we've done, although she has replied to both your readings and said heaviness, that nails it. So thank you very much, Karen. Brilliant. What I was going to say, we've got Nathaniel on the line. Hi, Nathaniel. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm okay, hanging in there. You know.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, just trying to ride this through as we all are, and you know, just hoping it's not as bad as some of the predictions are, but it's good. I have read for Nathaniel a few times. He's a regular caller, so I'll just pass him over to either Toni or Patrick. So,
I'm not. Go ahead.
Hi, Nathaniel. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you? Good.
I'm well, thank you. Where are you calling from?
Sacramento, California.
All right, Sacramento, man. We're in Arizona here. Yeah, let's see what we're doing. All right, Nathaniel. So, you hanging in there with this whole virus thing? You still at work? Are you an essential worker, or you having a forced vacation?
You know, I'm an essential worker, but I've noticed, you know, it's really been thinning out here. I was trying to figure out how to get a little extra cash, you know, unemployment or food stamps or something, but, you know, they really want you to be broke for that.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? Because one of the first things I get, I use touchstones, and I have this deck from Ireland. I get the 5 of cups for you. 5 is the number of grace, right? So that's a good thing. But it also speaks about sorrowful and regret and setbacks, sadness, despondent. You know, and those things can happen as you're looking, like you said, you're looking at getting assistance and that kind of stuff, and wondering, you know, there's a lot of questions like, how am I going to eat, right? And so, and I just want you to know that love is aware of that. And something that I get for you next is really cool. It's 14, temperance. There's healing, merging, chemistry, fluidity. So that means there's something about to break open here for you. There's some portal of provision, maybe even possibly a career change. So to be open for things like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, you know, I've talked to a few other people, and you know, I think I might be switching careers anyway. I'm not sure, but I think it's going to open up, like you're saying. I'm not going to even have to worry about anything.
Yeah, it's a merging. One of the words used, merging. You know, so it's like two things that have already come together, that are coming together, and melding. The chemistry is another word. Fluidity. You know, the mixing. So that's just a confirmation for you, right? Just whatever's going in on that, that you would just lean into that and bless it, right? Be open to those things. I want to get one more. I want to get one more for you. Tony's good on you right now, but I'm just going to keep what I got for the Emperor. This is good. I can read it. Getting old, so. Growth and strength, regulation, leadership. Yeah, this is good. So it just goes on with what the former card. You know, whatever it is, it's going to be something that you can do. That you'll be a leader. That there'll be a lot of growth for you, and strength. You know, an inner reflection, getting to know yourself, perhaps even a little more. Right.
Right.
All right, Toni. Did you want to?
You know, for some reason, I just keep on getting a book with you. Are you writing a book? Or are you thinking of writing a book? Because I'm like seeing these.
Yes, I am. I just have a lot of experiences and stuff, and sure.
Yeah, because I see like manuals and teaching abilities. I'm definitely picking up on a lot. I see you looking to the right. So to me, you're definitely looking more to, you know, for the future. Oh, I think we're echoing here a little bit. So yeah, so I'm seeing that. Of course, right now you feel like you're all tied up and no place to go, and you're actually having a little bit of anxiety for the future. So I'm feeling a little bit of that. But I definitely see like you are a leader, a man of power, and I definitely see like you're coming up with books or manuals, teaching abilities. See classrooms for some reason. I see students or I see people around you at conferences. I'm not sure if that's what you do, but I'm picking that up for you.
Does that make sense, Nathaniel?
No, well, that's probably what I'm getting into, because I just kind of know a lot about metaphysics, and you know, not that much, but you know, I could be teaching.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another thing too is that I'm also getting travel with you too. So I'm not sure if you're traveling now, but I definitely see like you're going to go from place to place to place. I even see a picture with you with a red rock behind you. So to me, that's like Sedona. So I'm getting like in the Sedona area that you're going to be really helping a lot of people there with your unique gifts, because you're a very unique soul. So yeah, another thing too is that I'm getting to, are you an astro? Do you do astro work? Because I'm getting a lot of the galactic family with you.
Yeah, you know, I do the Chinese astrology, and then I go by like weeks and days and stuff too. So that's just not the month. I go by like either a week or the day. So like Jimi Hendrix was born the day of electrifying excitement. And
Okay.
Trump's born the day of the gusty confrontation. And you know, Einstein was born the day of relativity.
Wow.
So I'm born the day of ironic insight. So I have a lot of ironic insight. So you know, like hundreds of like movie stars, actresses, and you know, musicians and sports people and all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, see, I could see all that within your matrix here. So yeah, but I'm also getting a lot of cosmos stuff over you, awakening to more of the cosmic side, and lots of unity, lots of new relationships coming in with your spirit and soul. So I'm getting that, and lots of empowerment with you, strength and stamina. Yeah, so wow, you got a lot to give. You got a lot to offer. You're a very powerful being, and you have a mission. So I don't know if you do any kind of online classes, or thinking about setting up any kind of teaching abilities, teaching globally, but I also see that too. So
super.
Sounds like you need to start putting together some. You need to start putting together some outlines.
Yeah, so I definitely see some outlines there. Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Has that helped you, Nathaniel?
Yes. Thank you so much, Leo.
No problem. It's a pleasure to speak with you again. I haven't got anything that I can add to that, but I've been getting ticks all the way through with what they've been giving me. So fantastic. You take care, and we'll speak soon, no doubt. God bless.
Sweet. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the DNA song, and also the I'm not sure how to say this. Tab biofield energy body scan. I should have just said body scan, made it easier. You know, when you focus on something, it's like you know.
Rubber baby buggy bouncers.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that you were talking about the bio body scans, the intuitive bio body scans.
That'll be it. You know, when you're on a motorbike, and if you're slipping on a curve and you're looking at a lamppost, you go that way. It's a natural thing. You go where you look, and of course, what you want to be looking at is the road, so you can follow that, not hit the lamp. Is that kind of thing? I'm just looking at this, thinking, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, joy does. It says in the Bible, laughter does the body good, like a good medicine.
Absolutely.
And that's one of, I happen to agree with that. We need to laugh. Yeah. Sometimes you need to find something to just make you laugh. I mean, when you're just so down, I'll look up comedians. I'll watch an old movie, Cheech and Chong or something. Just humor to make me laugh, because I need to laugh.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's brilliant humor. We've got a few minutes to break, and we've got Darcy. So Darcy will speak to you after the break, if that's okay to wait. But so tell us about this biofield energy scan.
Okay, so we all know that biofield is an energetic blueprint of our matrix. And so it tells a story from your past, or several lives, or karmic, into this life and into the future. So it's a blueprint of, to me, it's like a computer. Your body's a computer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're all overlaid in one spot in your being, okay? So everything you've experienced, past lives, even future stuff, is all in your being, all at the same time. And what she can do is she can see into that, into you, like literally, like she can stick her head into your body, kind of thing, and look around. Yeah.
So the bio body scan is where I do a scan with my hand. I just use my hand. I don't know why I do it, but then I read it, the energies of it, and then I do a holographic 5D multidimensional healing. It's not just physical healing, but it's emotional traumas, cords, et cetera, breaking off any stagnant energies, clearing. So I do a scan first, and then determine. And what I do is I have people come to me for that, and I don't like to have them ask a question or anything. I like to have source directly say, this is what we're seeing, and then have them confirm it, okay? And so after they confirm it, then we do the whole multidimensional inner healing of multifacets, multi-dimensions. And so, yeah, so it's pretty interesting. It's hard to explain everything of what I see, but that's what I do, yeah.
Good, because some of what we do, especially when we go into things at great depth, certainly from a spiritual point of view, but sometimes from a scientific point of view, there's a lot of depth to it, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like a onion.
Oh yeah.
It's like an onion peeling back layers and layers and finding the root causes, retuning your DNA song, and just removing things that no longer serve you in this life.
So what happens when she retunes your song? Whatever physical or mental, perhaps emotional situation you're going through will realign. It will harmonize. She'll bring it back into harmony, and whatever was happening because of the disharmony will fade away. It will go away.
And that's where we get dis-ease from, isn't it? Because it's not at ease. Fantastic. Okay, we have got Anna in the chat room. We're going to be answering Anna, and we've also got Darcy after the break. So we shall see you after the break.
This is the voice of spirit, your connection to the other side.
To understand something spiritually, you must experience it. And in order to experience it, you have to experience it in your imagination.
Explore with us by calling 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us the call now.
Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio.
Everything that now exists was once imagined. Therefore, everything that is going to exist must first be imagined.
Back with your guide, the spirit, Leo Bonomo. Leo Bonomo. After these brief words from our sponsors.
Your journey from the land of the living to the afterlife starts here. The Weird Tales Radio Show, Thursdays 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Your weekly fix for ghost stories, urban myths, witchcraft, and folklore. Hosted by the sometimes werewolf hunter, Charles Christian, and his co-host, Janie Christian. The Weird Tales Radio Show is an off-the-wall, fabulously atmospheric, and radio magazine formatted show, rated as one of the UK's most listened to podcasts. If you're a fan of the weird and unusual, then tune in if you dare. Thursdays 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. The Weird Tales Radio Show. The one show that takes your fears of the unknown and spins them into reality. The Weird Tales Radio Show on the KCOR Digital Radio Network, where the weird and the strange come out to play.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about. At least, not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
You are listening to the all-new KCOR, The Core. KCOR, broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada, to the entire universe.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your captain. I'd like to welcome you on Jackpot Airlines Flight 1610, service to Lost Wages.
They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, apparently, they need a reality check done Vegas style.
Vegas, 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 Vegas!
Tune in Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, for Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns and Callie Otto, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Biggest star in the world, bigger than Britney and Christina put together.
If it's happening on the Vegas Strip, you'll know about it here first.
You are a dirty little fun haver.
Join Jessica Johns and Callie Otto as they explore and go behind the scenes of what's hot and what's not. From the best entertainment Vegas has to offer to national celebrity gossip.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Jessica and Callie have their fingers on the heartbeat of the city and are waiting to share it with you. Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns and Callie Otto.
Yeah, baby!
Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern. They do Vegas right.
If you love them enough to sit through their favorite boy band with them, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly coupled in the back seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Voice of Spirit, your connection to the other side.
There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it.
Connect with us on Twitter by using hashtag KCOR. Even better, join us live in our chat room at KCORradio.com. To get a free reading during the show, call 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us the call now.
Worldwide callers, use Skype name KCOR Radio. And now, inspirational clairvoyant medium, psychic, and your connection to the spirit, the host of the Voice of Spirit, Leo Bonomo.
Hi, warm welcome back to the last segment of the show. We have a question from Anna. I do feel it's the same Anna. And we'll answer that in a moment, Anna. But we've got another regular on the show, Darcy. Hi, Darcy. How are you?
Hi, Leo. I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. You know who's here, and she said, hanging on. Fingernails on the ledge kind of thing. So bless her. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I'll hand you over to either Toni or Patrick, and oh yeah, so she's telling me to shut up. So there you go.
My grandma is so shy. She's so shy.
Absolutely.
Hi, is Darcy?
Hi, Patrick. Yeah, it's Darcy.
So, do you have anything specific that you're looking for right now, or how many?
No, I've been listening to you guys, and it's just so much fun. I just had to call in and see because I knew my grandma was going to show up, and I don't know if she will influence you, but she always picks on Leo. So.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Grandma. We appreciate you being here, definitely.
She's a feisty one.
She is.
You don't know the half of it.
Yeah. She's taken over the show before. Yeah, she's a force.
Does she like to hide things from you? Does she like to play games, make you look for things?
Yeah, turn lights off and on. She plays with the dog. Yeah, she does all sorts of stuff.
That's funny. Wow. Let's see. Are you getting anything? Did she have a question?
No, I just want to see kind of.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just kind of anything you pick up is fine.
Yeah. I don't know if you're expecting a breakthrough or you're waiting for a breakthrough, but I'm definitely picking up on something as a situation, as in feeling like new beginnings, leap of faith, having faith and synchronicity. But I was picking up on that. I know that I just feel like there's something about to happen really good for you. Breakthrough. Another thing,
I think you're right.
I'm getting something too about vitality, stability, movement within your root portal. There's something going on with that, with the breakthrough that's coming. Another thing too is I know that I feel like you're a speaker. Do you speak? Do you, you don't hold back a lot. You're very straightforward.
No. Yeah, I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you're a Taurus, okay. So
what you see is what you get.
Right? So I definitely get a lot to do with your vocals, like your throat. You're very expressive. You're very, you're almost like a mama to everybody. People look up to you a lot. You seem to teach a lot of people. So I definitely see like you're way out there and you're giving of yourself. So yeah, there's no suppression there. There's no suppression.
No, and I'm bossy. They always tell me I'm too bossy.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, maybe like, I don't know. I just really see like you're a speaker, you're a go-getter. Nothing will stop you, kind of thing. And I just see a lot of movement going on with the whole root portal again. Some breakthrough happening, some freedom, and just knowing it's going to happen in limitlessness. You know, a lot of limit. Don't put any limits. New beginnings. And I also get it like you're a very high priestess, very divine feminine, and you got a high worth. So 7, 8, 9, that's 9. So always 9 to me is giving birth to this new thing, this new breakthrough that's coming. But yeah, you're a very high priestess, very divine. I see purple around you. So just getting a lot of divine intervention there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's hilarious because like purple is like my least favorite color, and people always tell me that. But
purple to me is like your royalty. You're a high priestess, and you're chosen. So you're a very chosen being.
Oh, okay.
It's a very high spiritual color, isn't it?
It is.
I also feel on that, you're one to start people, ignition, right? And initiation to get things going. You're passionate about the things that you're about, right? And you're not only passionate on the inside, but like you said, you're straightforward, passionate on the outside. You speak it the way it is, the energy you have, the direction and creativity that you just let it flow, right? Just let those things flow, the creativity especially.
Another thing I'm getting too is like I just really feel like you need to have a vacation for yourself. Like you need a spa or something. I just really feel like you need to like spoil yourself.
Yes, and now with everything, it's like everybody's locked in at home.
So you can't do anything.
I'm so bummed about that. I would love to be on a beach somewhere. That's where I want to be so bad. It's like
So I definitely am getting like the pampering and just self-love and just enjoying yourself. Giving to yourself.
Yeah, I would take some time and soak yourself with some beautiful music and visualize being on that beach. Maybe and that just take yourself there.
She's a very gifted person, so she probably could do that.
Yeah. Well, and I love Jimmy Buffett. He sings that kind of beach music. So
So take some
and
time.
I do. His music does really help me. So.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So soak yourself. It's called a soaking session. You're gonna saturate yourself with Jimmy Buffett music while you're laying down, visualizing on a beautiful beach, and you can hear the waves of the ocean. And,
put some salt and some water on your feet.
There you go.
Maybe build yourself a sandcastle or something. Learning. Christ talks about being those who want to enter the kingdom of God must be like a child. I think we're all just a little bit too mature these days. You know what I mean?
Growing up is not fun, no.
Yeah, I'm not going to do no adulting. This is the opposite of adulting. Just have fun with it. Enjoy the music. Maybe, have a drink that you would drink on the beach. Lean into it a little bit and have some fun and soak yourself, huh?
Oh, yes. I just heard today Captain Morgan is making a new orange vanilla rum, so there you go.
Put that over some ice and be like eating one of those orange vanilla popsicles. Oh.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, one of the first miracles in the Bible was Jesus making turning water into wine, and it wasn't even his idea, right? It was a young lady's mom said, "Hey, go get him some vases, vases. I don't know where you're at on that pronunciation, but go get yourself one of those things, fill it up with water, and do what he says, right?" And it wasn't even his idea. So you have great ideas that not even God has come up with, right? Because that's who you are.
Right. That's
I saw a very
Party
funny
on.
thing on.
I was a bartender for 20 years, so.
Well, there you go.
I saw a very funny YouTube clip, and they talked about that, you know, the wedding in Cana and running out of wine, and they was asking this little girl, and they said, so what do you get from that? She said, when you run out of wine, you better pray. Yeah.
Water. Listen, I've heard of it. I've had people who I know and trust that have had water turn into wine, and it's only because they ask.
That sounds great. So, as an ex-bartender, you shouldn't have any troubles, Darcy.
No, I know how to make all sorts of cocktails. Yeah.
Okay, we've got to let you go, honey, because we've got Anna on in the chat room. So bless you for calling again.
So much.
Take care.
You're welcome.
Okay, it was wonderful.
Bless you. Yeah, so we've got Anna. I do think it's the same Anna. She says, "Can I ask about my youngest son, Micah? Since I could."
Hold on.
Oh no, that's not. Oh. Yeah, so it says, Anna, can I ask about my youngest son, Micah's? I could have some help with advice to help him move forward. He's a special boy.
All right, Anna. Well, absolutely. You know, just in the natural, as far as without knowing anything myself about what's going on with your son. If you're looking to help him and move him forward, then I would start out by making a list of those things that are holding him back, and really treat it in an acute way, right? Like a triage kind of situation. You know, you need to look at what's going on. He's a special boy. That to me, that could mean a lot of things. Perhaps there's some autism or maybe something like that going on. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying, just going off the paragraph. But if you want to help him and get him focused, then I would start by articulating, what's holding him back. What are the issues? And then making another list of how you combat those issues in the natural and in prayer, and focusing on maybe it's a nutritional thing. Sometimes we could be ingesting stuff that causes certain things because there's an allergy that was not aware of, if that makes sense, Anna. So, you want to say anything?
Well, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Do you want me to just step in there a little bit? Okay. Anna, would you recognise that there is a small I'm being shown a connection between a physical and a mental. Some people would call it a disability. I wouldn't in the strictest sense, but I know that there is an incredible amount of intelligence behind those eyes. As I'm being given confirmation of that, I am seeing blue eyes. They're quite bright blue that I'm seeing, and I know that things move very quickly for him. Again, I'm being drawn to the intelligence. I feel that he does hold back in relationships with other people, and I know that that's because he doesn't feel quite comfortable in his own body, because he operates in a different way. I would say he's highly sensitive in a psychic and clairvoyant way, and I think it's that really needs. He needs to be accepted, but he needs to accept himself with this. So there's an awful lot going on. I'm not being shown what age he is, but I do know that there have been instances when he has been young, when he's talked about other lives, and also talked about things that he had seen which either had to happen, so prediction. So hopefully that would help. I'm sorry, Tony, I'll pass it back over to you.
Oh no, you're definitely, because I was feeling like he has so much energy flowing through him, because I'm like sensing his brain right now, and it's hard for him to channel it out. It's hard for him to distinguish the frequencies. I really feel like he sees things way beyond than what we see. Like what I'm confirming with you, because I was seeing the same thing when you were talking about Leo. Yeah, very, very gifted soul. It's almost like I see two of him in one body. Like like he's a twin flame of himself from other dimensions.
Yeah.
So I see like a yin, a yang of himself, and all this blue energy that's just the frequencies just get stuck sometimes in there. And it's hard for him to explain himself, hard for him to speak it out or understand why he's feeling this. Because for some reason I get like he gets a bit angry. He goes through a lot of emotional outbursts because he's not able to slow this down from coming in so quick. You know what I mean? It's like definitely see like the neurons. I can see his neurons in his brain, and his third eye is so overactivated. It's almost like it needs to be closed down a little bit too. But yeah, so I'm definitely getting all those with him. And again, also self-love and understanding why he was chosen to be this person that he is now. Not understanding quietly. But I definitely feel like he needs to have some of this energy flow just slowed down. Another thing, I don't know, he's like an open gateway, like an open door to a lot of things, spirits.
So a tool that I would use, Anna, would be, and he may already do this, but some breathing exercises, really controlling the breath and slowing the breath down, so that he can reflect. Maybe, like I said, making a list with him about things that are going on, and leaning in, doing the research and those kind of, like incense, for example, can change the vibration. Again, we're coming back to vibration, and he's a high vibrational being. He's just, and finding a way to interpret that and the tools necessary so he can take what's happening and release it, because he's supposed to be a conduit, and that'll be really good when he gets on top of it.
I don't know, for some reason I see him as a young, pure boy, but at the same time I see him as an adult, like he's, in his 20s. Yeah. So yeah. I definitely see him like that. And a starseed. He's definitely a starseed. Indigos, definitely.
Yeah, I would say so. Hopefully, Anna's written that what you've been saying is correct. He's very intelligent. He does have blue eyes, and he's very spiritual. And she's also confirming there, can I help him? Yes, he's angry. And whatever was said after that, it's all true. So, Anna, if you want to, you can go to Toni the Global Healer. I think that's .com. And so so you can get in touch with Toni or Patrick there. If you do want to contact me as well, you can go to www.leo-bonomo, and you can email me through that, or leo-bonomo@leo-bonomo.com. So that's BONOMO again. And you can get in touch with any of us, and I'm sure we can do something to help you. But it'll be wonderful.
You can also reach me through Patrick's Wellness on Facebook, Wellness Healing Modalities. There may be some NLP techniques that are tapping. Look up EFT, Emotional Freedom Tapping, is one of the things, and use affirmations along with tapping different pressure points on your face and your head and such. It can be very powerful and profound, and you must do those at least 3 or more times through. But yeah, I feel like that would be a very effective way for an immediate and acute treatment of your son. EFT, emotional freedom tapping, is going to be something you should look at. Okay.
And I would definitely like to do some work on slowing down the energies, and then also reformatting for him to be able to think clearly.
Because the anger is coming from frustration.
Mm-hmm.
So you simply need to eliminate the frustration and figure out.
It's a part of one of his brain I call them brain chips that are not able to communicate very well together. So it's causing a lot of this also. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And Dana, I know that he is having quite a few sleepless nights as well, especially in the early hours of the morning, between 1 and 3 most potently. So if that's something that you want help with as well, it's something that I or Tony or Patrick can run through with you. But he does need to understand what's happening, and it would be helpful for you to understand so that you can help guide him as well. Fantastic. Let us know whether the sleeplessness is affecting him as well. Just give us an answer back there. Fantastic. Well, it's almost 2 hours gone again. It's absolutely unbelievable. Between I can't. I'm having a dyslexic moment tonight. It says 040912 semicolon 54. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but I do understand it's saying that he's not sleeping between particular times. So if you do need help with that, then we can do something. Fantastic, Anna, for excuse me, for those confirmations. God, I forgot what I was going to say. It's been brilliant talking to you both. We've got about 4 minutes. That's just the time, the stamp room. Oh God! And now my mouse is frozen. The batteries are gone. It's all happening tonight. I'm trying to move the mouse around, and it's not happening. So while any other things you'd like to add, and give us your URLs, that kind of thing as well.
I'd like to give a blast real quick, vibration. So anybody that has headphones, put them on real quick.
I'll go over this really quick. So the URLs is, so it's www.TonyTheGlobalHealer.com, or it's YouTube, Tony the Global Healer, and Facebook. Yeah, so it's the same, Tony the Global Healer. You'll find me. And then Patrick's Wellness at Facebook. You'll be able to find him for his sessions too.
So now I'm going to do a blast on the shofar, Leo. And so if you have headphones, please put them on, and we're going to release some love into the world, right? Lots of people have been healed from sound vibrations and such, and I hope that blesses everyone that's listening. And I've heard other people say this, and I like the saying: it's to be the change you want to see. You want forgiveness, give it. You want finances, maybe help someone and bless them. Learn to let go of what's in your hand for what's in God's hand, and whatever expression of spirituality. There's no right or wrong as far as that goes. It's what means the most to you. Be hungry, move. Let the pain that you may be experiencing emotionally or physically motivate you. Don't let it separate you. All right.
Brilliant.
Like I tell my mama, I love you.
Okay, that's brilliant. Oh, fantastic. So hopefully you've got a lot from this show. If you tuned in halfway, then you can find it on the archives. But we have to go, so we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Leo Bonomo, the host of The Voice of Spirit. Live every Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. For more information on the show, guests, and hosts of The Voice of Spirit, or to book a private reading, please visit leo-bonomo.com. That's leo-bonomo.com. Your connection to the other side is just a phone call away. The Voice of Spirit.
It is amazing, is it not?
This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network, broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51.
Wait, that doesn't exist.
This is the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Now for the news.